What's going on, everybody? Um, Today I'm just about to be going over, just kind of like the basics of, how I got into trading, and also kind of why I even do it in the first place, and like what got me interested in trading, altogether. So I was realizing that, after I posted the last video, a lot of people didn't really even understand what exactly, trading really is and what exactly the stock market is. But, basically, what I do is I'm buying, shares of companies. So taking like ownership in companies, maybe sometimes for a few minutes, a few hours or so, and then I'm selling my position. The thing is that I'm not trading like these big companies that you would regularly know about, the stocks like Apple and Google, Facebook, things like that. My reason why is because those stocks, they're so you know higher priced and so watched by like the big money type of people, the people with huge money, the hedge funds, the mutual funds, CNBC, that in the time it takes you to make, let's say 10% on your money trading something like Google or Apple, you can, which is probably going to be like a few weeks, a few months, whatever the case might be, you could literally get that in a couple minutes, trade what I trade, which is low cap stocks, penny stocks. So they are riskier, but when you know what you're doing, it begins to be kind of the same thing in and out every single day. You know what I mean? Now these are like simpler companies, so they typically only have like one or two products. So they're riskier, but they're simpler. You know what I mean? And you don't have to worry about having to hold it for an extended period of time or whatever. Kind of like, yeah, if it goes against you, you kind of get out of your position. But once you get to understand it, once you put in the time, you can become somebody who's making crazy types of money, in very short amount of times. I remember when I first started, which was in June, I got excited about my first, what I would call like a big day of, I think it was $300 or whatever. Another day I made 3,000. So it's like really, a slow and steady process, but it's worth it. It definitely is worth it. Now, what I would say is like even more important, I wouldn't say more important than the money, but what is like such a great part about the money that comes from trading is that you can literally do it from the first hour of the day and maybe even the last hour of the day if you want. But with the way things have been going lately, I've been coming in the first hour of the market or whatever, I've been making my money and I'm out. So it's like total freedom. You don't have to worry about sitting at a desk job from 9 to 5 or whatever, making like a steady salary and stuff like that. You can come in and make crazy types of money and be done. And just kind of BS for the rest of the day. Which I think is total cool. It's pretty cool. I remember a quote that was saying like, if you can't decide where you are every day at 11 a.m., then you don't have freedom. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I try to model my life. So the other thing about trading these penny stocks is that it's pretty low competition. Like you're not worried about trading against like the people on Wall Street and stuff like that. You're trading against everyday people, which is what makes it pretty cool. Now when I got into trading or whatever, I was studying it all throughout college. I didn't have no money to trade, but I came across Tim Sykes on YouTube, and that's how I really got into trading. You know what I mean? I was like just watching his videos, watching his DVDs, watching his YouTube stream or whatever, and I paid a good amount of money for his his work because I'm very aware about how many people fail when they come into trading, right? So long story short, once you get like, a couple $1,000s, a few $1,000s saved up or whatever, that's when you really have enough to start trading. You would put into a brokerage account like TD Ameritrade, Interactive Brokers, E-Trade, or something like, the top brokers, and you would ideally get like a scanning software like scans.com, which is SCANZ.com, or stocks2trade.com. And then you can really just start trading from there. Now, when I started off, I was, I bought everybody's stuff. You know what I mean? I had maybe $2,000 in college or whatever. I spent every single dollar that I had on material to get into trading because I knew when I got out of college, I didn't really want to get a job. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to have my own schedule. I wanted to be traveling like I am now. So right here on this screen, you can kind of see Tim Sykes or whatever. He's this Jewish guy. He turned $100,000 into like $4 million when he was in college. So my entire foundation, my entire, basic knowledge of the stock market, it all comes from Tim Sykes because that's the person that I came across on the internet when I was kind of trying to figure out, what exactly I wanted to do with my life when I got out of school. So you can come in and get this course or whatever. This is exactly where I would start. It's a 30-day boot camp. You can go through it as fast as you want, but you should be able to get through it in 30 days. And this will teach you, because learning the stock market is like learning a second language. You got to learn, all this terminology. What is float? What is volume? What is low cap? What is small cap? You know what I mean? What is an ABCD pen, head and shoulders? Whole bunch of stuff that you got to learn, but, once you put in this time and stuff like that, it becomes like a second nature to you. I got one of my boys to go through the program or whatever. He made $400 his first day trading after quitting his job. So you can kind of see Tim Sykes. He's legit. This is his interview he has with Steve Harvey, which you can kind of see if you want to go through it. But if I was getting started with trading, this is what I would do. I would go through Tim Sykes 30-day boot camp, whatever. Because on my channel, I'm not going to be going through the basics of trading, because I'm putting this out for free or whatever. This is more of so if somebody comes in and they take the trading seriously and they get their courses or whatever, which I don't make any money off of telling you guys to get these courses and stuff like that. But if someone comes in and they take this seriously, then my YouTube channel will help you kind of shorten the learning curve a little bit more. So that 30-day boot camp, this is another one. Let's do Trader Like Mike. He is, you can follow him on Instagram and everything like that, but he has his own summit or whatever, which is another course. This is a lot more advanced than Tim Sykes' course. So once you go through that, I would recommend going through this course right there. This is a big time trader, makes a hell of a lot more money than I do. So, he's up about $2 million on the year. So, this is how I learned all my shit. So I can't tell anybody to, do anything that I didn't do myself. I bought all this stuff. I paid for all this stuff. I went through all this stuff. And what you're going to see is that, in the span of, if you take it seriously for like a year or 2 years, if you put in the education, you can probably be full time in this like me in 6 months to a year. Now you can go ahead and you can try to do it on your own, you know what I mean? But you got to understand, in this game, 90% of people don't make any money at all. They make nothing. And 40% of people are gone after the first month because they lose everything in their account. So what investing in your own education does, what that's going to do is that's going to be able to shorten the learning curve, you know what I mean? So that when you finally do jump into the game, you have some type of knowledge and you just don't go in there blindly and lose all your money. So yeah, that's that. It's pretty simple stuff, guys. These penny stocks, they move fast or whatever. I'm buying stuff because literally like a little bit of news, a little press release can spike a stock 100, 200, 300, 500% in one day. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing stocks go from 5 cents to 25 cents. Even if you capture, just a little bit of that move, you're making crazy amounts of money. Let's say you get a stock that goes from 10 cents to, 50 cents. 10 cents to 15 cents, which happens pretty much every single day, a 50% move or whatever. If you have, let's say, just $1,000 to your name and you put in $1,000 into that play or whatever, you're making 50% on your money, which is $500. But let's say you only capture like a fraction of that move. You're making, say you make 20% or whatever, then you're making $200, which is still way more than, most people are going to be making at, any type of job that they have. So when you're coming into this game, you got to understand that the easy part about this game is learning the patterns. Like, you think you don't know anything about the stock market or anything like that. You don't need to know anything about the stock market, because the way that, these that I'm mentioning to you dumb this thing down, it's going to make a lot of sense if you take it seriously. So you don't have to know too much about the stock market, but that's like the easy part about this game. The hard part about this game is managing your emotions. When you have money on the line, are you going to get emotional about it when the stock goes just a little bit against you or whatever, but then it comes back and you would have made money, but you got out of your stock too quickly? If you got personal issues happening in your life, you know what I'm saying? If you're going through a breakup or something like that, are you going to be emotionally intelligent enough to put that to the side, or maybe not even trade for that day because you're aware that, you're not in the right state of mind? You know what I mean? The fear is like fear of missing out when you start chasing plays and stuff like that. The emotions of like greed and stuff like that. those are the things that really make this game complicated, because everybody has to deal with that for a long time until you can get those in check. But the patterns and stuff like that, you will learn, pretty quickly if you take it seriously. And this is the last guy I would say, after you go through, maybe even after you go through this Tim Sykes 30-day bootcamp, come to Roland Wolf or whatever. He's one of Tim Sykes' millionaire students. So he's a couple million, and he's got, was it like 10 YouTube videos right here, and they're all like golden. This is the type of stuff that I would pay money for, to see this type of stuff. It's like, I guess, a few hours of content on here, maybe 3-4 hours or whatever. I would dive into all of this stuff. I went through all of this stuff and then some before I even put a single bit of my money to work. So, let me see if I missed anything. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where I would start. If anybody who watches this, if maybe you feel interested or you have any other questions, just hit me up. I'm posting this on my Snapchat, so most of y'all are going to be able to hit me up on there. Just let me know, because the stock market is great, and this is just like a skill that, no matter what the hell they're doing with shutdowns, and, you lose your job or whatever, employers have to lay people off because business is tight and stuff like that, you'll have a skill that you can do from the comfort of your home. You know what I mean? Like, it feels good knowing that this is like a skill that you can gain, and, no matter what happens, I'm going to be able to sit in my room or whatever while all the craziness is going outside and, make my money. But it ain't always good, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's hard or whatever, but for the most part, this game has been definitely worth it. So, yeah, guys, like, subscribe, whatever you gotta do, don't really matter to me, but, yeah, let me know.